Hello and welcome to my channel. It's mid-April, the sun's shining, the birds are singing and I've been doing some planting. So let's have a look. So the border that I've been working on is this one, which is the one nearest to my house. I've said in previous videos, I've never really been quite happy with it, so I've been tweaking it a lot. So this side round here is the sunny side. This will pretty much get sun until mid-afternoon, so I can get lots of sun-loving plants in there, like the euphorbias, bananas, the camarops, these aloes. But this is a curved border and I'm trying to tie it all in together. So round here behind this Trachycarpus is pretty much dappled shade, and by probably 11-12 o'clock the sun will be moved around and the house will be shading it. So it's a relatively shady spot that I've never quite been happy with. I've tried a few different plants there, none have really worked. So I've tried to go for plants that I think tying with a whole border, so it gives balance all the way around. So they will be shady plants, but they will sort of also go with the plants that are in the sunny side. So let's have a look at what's been going on. So this Persicaria was already in, which is in sun. Then just moving around under the shade of the palm is this Comodoria radicalis, which is generally hardy to about -7 Celsius. It does have overhead protection from the palm. It's in free draining soil, which is raised, which really helps. But it's just for years not really been noticed, and it's been a bit neglected, and the plants around it haven't sort of complemented it. I did say in one of my previous videos about the mistakes I'd made, that I needed to change this area because I'd used too many different types of grasses and different variegations, and it just looked very confused. So what I've done is just underplanted it with ground cover with lots of black mundo grass, which is Ophiopogon. I didn't have to buy any of these. These have just been split and spread from other parts of the garden and planted under here. So I really wanted to sort of put ground cover, low ground cover plants that really made this palm stand out, so you can sort of see it for all its glory that it is. And that goes with all these plants, because this is right next to the sort of bifold doors of my house. I can see this all year round, and that was part of pretty much the main part of the thought of my planting, the balance of the whole border, but also plants that could handle this dappled shade, that had real good sort of almost architectural leaf shape, and I really liked, to be fair. So what have I gone for? I've gone for this Schefflera taiwaniana, and a lot of these plants that I'm talking about now I've just shown in a recent video that I've just done, if you want to check that out. Hardy evergreen plants for shade, where I sort of discussed quite a few of these plants, but these are the ones I've gone for. So Schefflera taiwaniana, hardy, it's in free draining soil, so should do really well here. That is going to grow more upright to sort of fill the space behind it. There is bananas behind it, so it's going to get more shade in the heat of the summer, but should cope with that absolutely fine. Then moving across diagonally, I've gone for the Mahonia Sweet Winter, because it's just going to cover that space with such good architectural structure and leaf shape. Hardy to about -12 apparently. You know, hardiness is relevant to how prolonged it is and all them other things, but this whole area has complete overhead cover from evergreen structure, so that really protects a lot of these plants. So that's the Mahonia Sweet Winter. Then we've gone for, just at the back there, That is a Drimmy's Lancelot, I think it's called, which will just grow more upright. It will probably fill that whole space. I'll probably have to prune it back a bit. Some of these plants may be a little bit close for when they get to their full size, but their habits are a little bit different, so I should be fine, and I can always prune these plants a bit. I sort of want to cover the space as quick as I can, to be fair. So ground cover wise, I've planted 5 Dryopteris affinis here, which is like not a fully evergreen plant, it's semi-evergreen, but it doesn't matter if it dies back a bit or looks a bit tatty. I can clean it up in spring, because visually from the house I'll only see the sort of Camadoria because it's sort of hid around the back here, but from around the side here, in full gardening season, I'll get the joys of all these beautiful green ferns. And being Dryopteris ferns, they're quite drought tolerant as well, so if it gets a bit dry here under the umbrella canopy of this Trachycarpus, they should work quite well with it. And then in front of that, I've gone for this Pachysandra, which is Krieg's cover, and it is hardy, it's evergreen, and it will sort of, as long as it's in sort of a certain moisture retentive soil. So I have added, because this is a slightly raised bed, I've added a little bit more manure into this bed just to sort of retain some of that moisture, because I don't want it draining out too quick, but it is free draining. So yeah, these will send out little runners and just sort of mat this whole area and give me a really good ground cover. Then to the left of that, I've gone for this Carex Ever Lime. I've sort of planted 3 of them. 2 of them I moved from a different part of the garden, and then I had some smaller ones. So I've done that to sort of fill that spot and give me a little bit more sort of grassy sort of contrast to the whole border. Because if I move back round to the front, I've sort of used grasses and grass type plants at the front of the sunny border, so I almost wanted to sort of mimic that effect. And something else I'm looking at doing to sort of tie the two in together is, here we have the Aloe striatula, I know the name's changed, but they're in plenty of sun, and to sort of tie these two in, I've decided that I'm going to plant some of these epiphytes, which aren't hardy, but can come out for the summer months. And this is Bilbergia, and this is just in a little bit of sphagnum moss tucked into the trunk of the fern. It's in sort of a fair amount of semi-shade there, but I'm going to put 2 or 3 down there. It's a bit early probably to still be planting these out. That's why I've held off a bit, but I wanted to sort of put one out as a tester to see if I liked it. And that sort of similar leaf shape as the aloe. I'm trying to connect the borders so I feel like it has balance all the way around, and that comes with the group planting as well. And I've used a lot less sort of variegation and tried to keep this a lot green around here, because you will still get the colour from the plants behind. Obviously there's still cannas to come up into this border. There's burgundy leafed ones, there's Salvia amistad that's going to go in there, which will have purple flowers, and then that will add the colour to this border, but will be getting the sun further behind. So I think I'll leave it at that. I've tried to explain my thoughts and process and why I've chose these plants. At the minute, I'm really happy with it. Hopefully it fills out well by the end of the summer, and basically covers a lot of this area, and slowly get to a point where I can finally say that I might be happy with this border. Not there yet, but it's getting closer. Any questions, please leave it in the comments. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you next time.